Hello, this is Liz. Welcome to Fabric Friday. Sorry there hasn't been any for a while, but the garden's taken it out of me, that's all I'm doing. But I've got today to do some quilting. So I'm loading this quilt up sideways. It's a square quilt, it's about 64 inches by 64 inches. But these squares are turned on it. I want to actually be able to quilt as much of them in one go as I can do. Now if they're on sideways I can't, so I'm loading it on the diagonal, if you like. And because I originally started free motion quilting on my domestic sewing machine, that's what I was going to do with this, but I just haven't had the time to do it, and because it does take longer on a domestic machine. So I'm just taking it up now and starting from the middle, because I like starting from the middle, same as I said. It's because I first started quilting on a domestic machine, and you always tend to start from the middle. So I don't have to put leader, side cloth, enders, anything like that. I just find my centre block and I will start doing it. Where's that one gone? There. Sorry if I keep going in front of the camera, because I have no luck with cameras and all the rest. I've got two cameras set up. It's fairly easy to set up two cameras when I'm quilting on here. Where did I put the beginnings? Yeah, it's fairly easy to set up two cameras. They don't get in my way until I want to sit down and have a break. Now, as I was going to actually quilt it on my machine, I pin basted it all. And obviously, I don't need to do that. But I thought, one camera's just died. Yeah, I thought I might as well leave the pins in it until I get to them, because with me loading it on sort of diagonal, it'll help a bit. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So I've got started at the moment, and it's slightly wonky, but never mind. Just take these others out, they're a bit close to the sewing needle, although I won't be sewing in this area. Might as well take them out now. Right, so actually I could have moved it that way a bit, and I think I will do. Then I can get two of these done at the same time. So I'll move it and then bring it back. Now this other camera has been on charge for a month of Sundays, so it shouldn't be running down. So here goes. I have tried to reposition it so I could do two of these at one time. I can't. So it's a case of I'll do one at a time. Oh, oops, I've got to get my quilting rulers out, and they're in the cupboard behind you. I've got my ruler. Now, noticed a couple of threads, so cut them off now. Sorry about that. And turn the machine on. Works better if you turn it on. Works better if you turn it on. Now I've got this light blue in the top, and that's where I'm going to start. I have spent a while just cleaning and checking the tension and everything to make sure everything is alright with the machine, and I think it's running fine now. So I'll get started with the pattern that I thought I'd be doing. Oh, the camera has died. I am very rusty on doing this. I think it's shredding me thread. Just the tail from the start. Yes, it is shredding me thread. Looks like I'm going to have one of those days where I end up spending more time sorting it out than quilting, and I've had enough of this over the past few months. I first, about a month ago, sat down on my old vintage new home, and it was rubbish. No, it wasn't. It was about 2 weeks ago, because 2 weeks prior to that, I was moving things around so I could use it. Given up. I've only got a few hours to spend on it, and looks like I'm going to be spending most of the time sorting out the thread. So, this is another reason why there isn't any Fabric Friday. Right. Couple of hours later, I think I've sorted it now. I've changed the thread basically and tried to do the needle again as best I could, and it seems to be alright now. Seems to be. I've done a bit and then bored it a bit so I can see how it's running. So, let's see now. A few that have just joined might be wondering why sometimes I move it with my left hand and sometimes I move it with my right hand, and obviously the ruler. It's because I have a wonky hand. Sometimes it doesn't want to work properly, sometimes it does. So I've had to learn to become left-handed, ambidextrous, so this helps me. No, I won't be able to get down all the way down there, I bet will. Just a moment. I just wondered what that was in the bathroom. It's an absolutely massive, massive bumblebee. So ooh, dust. That's not too good, but never mind. I've had it at the moment. I'll take that quilting out and redo it in a minute. Oh, and he's back at the start. So that's now I don't brown the ends or anything like that. I just sort of do a couple of stitches in place. But what I used to think, before I had my long arm, I used to see people on YouTube using them and thought, why when they've got to the end of the row, they're breaking off thread, why they bring the needle up? And I wondered why they pulled here. And it's basically to take pressure off your needle, so when you move there's no pressure on your needle, and then you can bring it back to the exact same spot, down, up, and it brings your bobbin up, your bobbin thread, and then you can trim them both at the same time, so you haven't got to go freaking around at the wrong side of the quilt, because you've done it here in one go. So I'm just going to finish off this other bit and then advance it and keep going. But like I said, I only had a few hours this afternoon, and I spent 2 hours basically sorting it out to get it so it's quilting now. Okay, thank you.